What's up, guys? Ben from Catholic Brownies here. I just wanted to give a quick notice before the video. There is a bit of talk about substance abuse and a couple of other illegal substances. If this is a topic which you're not so comfortable with, please click off the video or skip the parts. Otherwise, please enjoy the video. Thank you for watching, and peace.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Ben.
I'm Will Rai.
And we're Catholic Brownies. And today we're here with
Wayne.
Bruce Wayne!
Bruce Wayne, Batman.
So Wayne, to kickstart us, some background about yourself.
So I'm Wayne.
Damn.
27.
Damn!
27.
Bro, I thought he was 18.
Yeah.
Bit about me. I was background.
Yeah, background. Where are you from?
I'm from Samoa, but I was born in New Zealand.
Did not know that.
Grew up in Australia. Look, Tongan, that's racist. Grew up in Australia and being a Catholic all my life.
What do you do now?
I do security at a shopping center. I was gonna dox myself. I work as a security guard. I've been doing security for nearly 10 years. You're coming up to 10 years.
There we go.
Yeah. I'll play piano for church.
He's a musician, fam. Like, really good musician.
Is that your council of this parish?
Oh yeah,
I'm also I'm a counselor. Yeah. I'm a councilman. No, I'm part of the parish council.
He makes money.
For Our Lady of the Southern Cross Parish. I'm also a member of the True North Young Adults Group.
You wanna shout them out quickly?
Shout out to the True North Young Adults Group.
When they run, fam.
Yeah, give it advertisement. Promote the lad.
I've only been in the group for like 5 months.
Doesn't matter, fam.
Promote them.
They're a great group of young adults, all from different parishes. We come together twice a month on the second Sunday, first?
Second and fourth, right?
Second and fourth Sunday of each month. Second Sunday we do formation. We have guest speakers that come in, share a bit about their testimony, share a bit about the faith, and then on the fourth Sundays we have Mass and Mingle, where we go out to different parishes, mingle with their young adults or their youth, and we have fun, and it's really great.
What time is it?
Depends on the day.
No, like the
Usually, what
faith
time is
formation,
it?
yeah.
Like faith formation as well as Mass and Mingle. Like, what time does it usually?
6, 7. Around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'd say on both days. I'm not too sure on those times, but second and fourth Sunday, we have a Instagram page, True North.
Just we'll
plug him. We'll plug him if you're interested in it. Yeah. Also, I'm a member of the Salesian Youth Club.
Oh damn! Me too.
Yeah, we're all members, and again, they're on the second and fourth Sunday. So
he balances relationships.
you got to balance it out. Got to make
2 women at one time.
We try and make both happy, but also
Happy wives, happy lives.
happy youth clubs, happy. Yeah. So they're also on the second and fourth Sunday. So it's adoration at 4 p.m, 5 p.m. Mass, followed by youth activity, formation, and learning more about our faith, and also through Salesian.
Like Salesian principles as well as Don Bosco and
Yes.
all those. Saint Don Bosco, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, we are within the Salesian household right now. Shout out to Salesians for allowing us to film. Second podcast in the same night, but we move and
What do you mean, bro? This is a different night. We're in a different place.
we don't lie on this podcast. We omit things, but we don't lie.
We just did it with 4 if you watch the previous.
Really shout out to them, and by God's grace, they've allowed us to use their space, and we're really grateful for that. Yeah, so let's kind of kickstart into a more critical things. Your faith journey. You've had a very recent one, I would say. You're 5 months in now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was in May. Yeah.
So tell me how that kickstart. Or actually, before we get into that, what was your life
Before.
in the last? Yeah, just so what was your life before growing up and everything?
Yeah, so growing up in a Catholic household, I feel like I was a very lukewarm Catholic, just attending church because it was part of our
His mum would beat him.
upbringing. Yeah, pretty much. No, my dad. Mum was always a soft one. It was like we had to go to church because it's what we do. So yeah, I always attend mass, but not knowing. I just go, but I don't know the meaning behind it. Yeah.
Sorry. It's scary. No, continue fast.
I'm like, what happened?
It is like 100-year-old building.
Cement walls.
It's like India, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like a very lukewarm Catholic, just going to mass because we had to. Even when I had to play for church, just playing for church was just another thing to do. Yeah, that was my upbringing, not really understanding my faith or not really having a deep relationship with God.
How did that forward into your more teenage as well as adult years? Because you did say, I don't know, I'm kind of cutting through the timeline here. When you went to ACYF back in 2019, it did actually ignite something within you, but because of COVID and everything. So if you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, I've shared this story many times, and I'm always grateful to share it, especially if it helps maybe
People like you.
Yeah, people like me. Back in 2019, my youth coordinator, Sister Rochelle, shout out to her. She put the invitation out to our parish for kids and teenagers and young adults for that year's festival, Australian Catholic Youth Festival in 2019. And I literally just wanted to go because I saw 3-day pilgrimage Perth, and I was like, yeah,
Holiday.
3-day holiday. Yeah, that was all I had in my mind. So
3 days only, though.
I think we went for 4 days, but
Bro, we went for 10 days.
wow.
Bro, you got a 10-day holiday. You were robbed.
Bro, I was so happy, bro. I'm like, I can leave my parents for the first time.
Wait, I would have started living there.
Bro.
So what you doing, Auntie? You didn't go for ACYF.
I did go for ACYF. I did enjoy it, but I also enjoyed the fact that I could be away from my parents for the first time, and I'm not going to hide that fact because either way they know that.
Yeah, and that was exactly my mindset back then. I was like, because I was working working for 3 years by that time. I was like, I need a break, just
How
get
old
it.
were you at the time?
I was 20.
Oh, fair enough. So
Sorry?
kind of straight out of school almost.
Yeah, straight out of school. I started working straight away. I was like all the other boys were like, they weren't going out, they're going schoolies and that, and I was like, nah, I want to start working straight away.
Good man.
Yeah, so
Smart.
as soon as I turned 18, I started working. I was working different gigs, doing security, and when that came up, I was like, you know what, I need a break. Just 3 days, go out there, link up with some other boys from that I know in Perth, and yeah, that was my plan going there. And the whole journey to the actual to the day of the festival, I was always a part of our youth group fundraisers, our formations, group bonding sessions. We even formed a youth band, and we played for mass a couple of times, and those are looking back, those are really great times of fellowship. But knowing me, I was just thinking about just going there, having fun, getting drunk, all that type of stuff. So when we went to Perth, I got in trouble. I think it was the first night or the second night. I think it was the first night, got in trouble, broke some of the code of conducts, and remember we got caught, and then it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We had to, the volunteer that was looking after us in the hotel, walked us to Sister Rochelle's room, and had to explain to her what we done. It was so embarrassing. Like looking back, I felt so ashamed. Even then, I could tell it was really embarrassing because I respect Sister Rochelle so much. Like from year 7 all the way to year 12, I was always beside her playing piano for her kids choir.
She sounds almost like an auntie for you.
Yeah, I look at her as an auntie. Like I have that deep respect for her even till now. So like having to, like seeing her like upset really, like it made me upset and it made me lock in. But I thought I was going home, like, and I was like, I have to go home and explain to my parents why.
That would have been so funny.
I was like, nah, I'm not going home. I'm staying in Perth. But yeah, she ended up giving us a second chance, and I was like, no, I've got to lock in.
Do you ever wonder why she gave you that second chance? Because I don't know, even like when you kind of told me about it, I'm like, man, I don't know if I would have given you a second chance, fam.
Yeah, 100%. Like even, like looking back, like yeah, same here. I wouldn't give myself a second chance. I would have said, no, you made your bed, sleep in it. But I feel like because she has such a big heart, and she's always, because she's a Salesian as well, so she always caters to the youth. She always looks out. So I think she wanted to give us a second chance because hoping that we will take that second chance and run with it, and it did. Because I remember after that stern warning, I locked in, and ACYF like took the rest of the festival really serious. But I feel like it's because she had such a big heart and very compassionate. And because if I was like, man, it is what it is, or like I showed her attitude, or she would have sent me home. But I feel like she saw me like actually feel remorseful, and yeah.
I think a big thing is that we also, like, she's a sister. She's also got that motherly traits, and you said you've grown up with her since you were a kid. So for her, maybe she's just like, she saw you almost as like a son, and she's like, I wouldn't, like, no mother would cast out their son, even in their worst days.
100%.
They would try to protect them, and in her case, like, okay, if I send him back, he might just continue on with doing whatever he does. So like Christ, or like Mother Mary even, like how they would do the things, I would, at least from what I understand, is that they don't just give you that second chance as in like without knowing, I guess. Oh no, actually no. Sometimes Christ will always give us a second chance. But I think with saints, and especially Mother Mary, I don't think people give a person a second chance if they know they're not capable of changing. I might be wrong. If it is wrong, please don't insult me for that Mother Mary thing. But this, from my understanding at least, I think she would have seen something within you, and she knows, and clearly, like, it took several years, but clearly she was right. That second chance was worth it, even though if when you did return, it wasn't the same. But like without it, I don't think you might have not been here.
100%. Yeah, 100. You're spot on. I feel like she must have saw something in me and the others that were involved. And like again, I was with her since I was little. Even before year 7, when I was playing piano, like our family have always been part of the Salesian community. And we've known the name Sister Rochelle since I was little. Like that name struck fear in all of us because the stories I heard about her when she. Your
mind's like sharing a little bit with her.
Like I remember, like there's these Samoan priests that they've been priests for over 10 years. They used to tell stories about like how she used to run the choir, and she would run it like. This is what they say. She would run it like a military.
Sister Rochelle.
Yeah, she was like it was like literally like an army leader, how she would run it. Because that's all I used to hear. That's why when my dad's like, yeah, you're gonna play for Sister Rochelle, I was scared. I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, oh no.
What have I done to deserve this?
I used to be scared of making mistakes by playing with her. But during those times playing with her, she's been nothing but always encouraging. She's always like, she's helped me be better as a piano player, especially playing through mass. Her style of playing is really good, especially because she's like a one-man band when she plays.
Oh,
She
can dance as well.
Yeah. Even in mass, when we're singing the final hymn, she always chooses these crazy fast hymns, and she's always encouraging the everyone else in the mass to like clap hands. Like, it's like, that's Sister Rochelle, and that's always been her. So
the stories, though, you would have heard, in my opinion, from what you've told and you've explained, is that they're saying, okay, these are the past stories, and as people grow, they learn. So maybe when she was younger, like if you'd met her that time when they were telling from their stories, maybe she was like a general almost. But as time progresses and as we grow in our faith and deepen our relationship with God, I'm sure that with that comes change, because the more that we grow with God and the more that we attend the Mass, we understand grace more fervently and with a more grateful understanding, I guess. And maybe because of that, she would have taken all those qualities like Christ and maybe become softer. I'm sure she definitely has her tougher side, but maybe you just haven't reached that much, and probably best for you if you haven't reached that much.
I don't want to.
You know, she might have a backhand on her, and you're like, But it sounds like she's been like almost like a second mother to you. I guess, before we kind of lead on, if you could say anything, she's probably not going to watch this, but if you could say anything to her, what would you tell her from the point of view that you have now?
That I'm so grateful for her in general. Like, she's been always part of my life, like especially through my faith. And like her teachings, like her actions as well, they speak louder than her words. Like even how she runs our youth group. Like, it's just she always runs it with her heart, obviously guided by God, and it's like elements that, because I'm now one of the leaders for our youth in Craigieburn, so like she's definitely a role model I want to like learn from. Exactly right. Yeah. So like no, she's just been a G. That's all. Like, if I can say, like, she's been like, she's definitely like, words can't describe. Like, she's just like.
But I think that those indescribable words says enough, right? Sometimes when we speak to God, actually, it's a little bit off tangent. Sometimes when we speak to God, we don't have the words to say what we want to say. And I think biblically speaking, it says, let the Holy Spirit guide you. Let the Holy Spirit speak for you. So maybe what you don't say, God, through his background actions, through you, and through the people you teach now, and the people you serve, that emulation, as I said, that illumination of her, that mirroring of her actions that she's given to you, might be enough words said for her. And I think at the end of the day, we should aim to be grateful more through our actions, right? To emulate the people around us. I've repeated that word, emulate, way too much. You find a different word for it. To reflect the other actions of others within our lives, instead of just speaking words, right? Because I'm not saying that words are empty. At times, words can hit harder than actions. But we should have the wisdom, which granted by God, of course, when to speak them. But yes, Sister Rochelle sounds like a huge part of your life, which I'm sure, like, if whatever you do down the line, you'll definitely look to her for guidance and for advice.
100%.
So continuing on from Sister Rochelle, continuing on from ACYF, what happened after that?
After ACYF?
After ACYF in 2019.
So after ACYF, like, full taking on the experience, like, I definitely, I remember, like, feeling different. Like, I really felt like it was like an awakening. Like I felt like the Holy Spirit was within me. Because even going back to Mass, like I was taking it more serious. Even though I wasn't still, I didn't know much about our faith, but I was like, I was going to give it a crack. Going to Mass, not trying to miss Mass, because there'll be a lot of times where I'm working and I won't make it to Mass. But I remember making sure that, okay, if I'm not going to make it to the morning Mass, I'm going to make it to the afternoon Mass. So I was actually like putting 100% in it. And then the youth group that the group that we went with, when we came back, we all got closer, and we were all like wanting to form a youth group in Craigieburn. So we decided to do it. We shared our story to our parish. We made a little video package, and then we made the announcement that we're going to form a youth group. And our first night, like our first info night, we had like 20 to 30 people show up. And I remember I was in charge of getting their names down. So I made it was like their names, their age, spreadsheet, and I made sure like what was the reason you were here. And I'd say like 80% of them was to like faith, to get closer with God. So I was like, okay, sweet. So we have people that want to grow closer with God. But then, yeah, so I remember we had a few sessions, and then COVID happened, and we still try to run through it. We're like, nah, this is like, we can still go with it. But then after restrictions and lockdowns, yeah, we momentum stopped, and then not going to Mass, and like we tried the online Mass, but it wasn't the same, especially without the Eucharist. My faith as well started declining, and gradually I stopped like caring, and then I went back to how I was before, like just a lukewarm Christian sitting on the fence. You know that analogy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sitting on the fence. So
could you elaborate on that?
So I was on Instagram one time, and Bryce Crawford, is that his name? Yeah, like he was sharing this story about a man sitting on the fence. One side was the devil, and the other side was God. And you want to explain it?
Yeah, I was hoping you could, because so one side is the devil and one side is God, and this man is sitting on the fence, and they're both kind of calling out to him. God is saying, "Come here," sorry. God is saying, "Come here to this side," and the devil's saying, "No, come here. It's more. I can grant you all your desires." The man starts laughing. He's like, "I don't have to choose anything. I got one foot in one world. I got one foot in another. I got the best of both. What? I'm free. I'm good." And then everything goes black, and then he hears this like maniacal laughter, demonic laughter behind him, and he sees the devil, and he's like, "I didn't do anything. I didn't choose you." And the devil looks at him, smiles, and says, that fence, it belongs to me, right? And that's basically what lukewarmness is at its core. We cannot have check out our podcast with Four. He explains this best. Man cannot serve two masters. He will either love one or hate the other. And we cannot serve the world, and we cannot serve God. But yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. They don't want to butcher the analogy.
No, you had it. Yeah. Just, I think for me, I've heard that way too many times, and I think I've explained it too many times.
I've heard it once, and it stuck with me since. That's why. And I was like, when he explained that story, I remember like having like this realization, like, whoa, like that's actually me, because like I'm sitting on the fence. I can serve God, but I'm happy, like also like living in sin, and then when
being your old self.
Yeah, being my old self, doing what I want to do, and not having a guilty conscience of it. And when the devil said I own the fence, that's just like, dang. and that really that stuck with me.
So all it took was a pandemic.
Pardon?
All it took was a pandemic?
I think this was years after. I think it was like coming out of the pandemic. So like when lockdowns eased up and like we started going back to mass, I was back to my old self. And but like even listening to that, like it's hard to like, yeah, you get motivated, but again, when you're so stuck in your old ways and you have no motivation, like you just sit on the fence. Like,
So the no motivation came because you were stuck at home all day.
pretty much, yeah.
So let's say there's a pandemic now. How would it be different?
Do you think it would be different?
This time, I feel like no, because like during my going back to like my walk with Jesus, like going back to my faith and
Sorry, wait, just to clarify, you don't think it would be different to last time?
now, like if there was a pandemic, like right
if there
now.
was a pandemic now.
Right now.
Oh no, yes, it'll be different.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'll be way
Okay,
different. No,
you said no, and I'm like, hold up.
You're wait, what? That'll be way different. I feel like because I know, it's like I know too much now about Jesus. Like,
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
no, all good.
You know a lot, but do you?
No, enough.
No, it's not that. Knowledge is great for faith. We are called to have an answer for what we believe. In saying that, just because you have knowledge, and Sammy, I'm taking your words of advice here. If I butcher it, please don't harm me. I'm not scared of you. No. So my friend Samuel, he's also a recent convert himself. Great person, loves Mary. So definitely someone I aspire to when it comes to faith. He says that you can have all the knowledge in the world, but even Satan knows the Bible like the back of his hand, right? So in the same way, without love, that knowledge isn't worth it. So do you think you have the love as well as the knowledge?
Yeah.
How do you know that from how you live your life, how you live your faith? How do you know that?
I know because like before, like what would you call it, like the faith, like going back, like how I'm going back into my faith, like what would you call it?
I wouldn't. Some people call it a second
Coming back.
Coming back, the return.
Some people call it second baptism. I would refrain from that because it is kind of heresy. Because we believe in one baptism. I would say it's kind of like almost
Reignition.
like reignition. I would say it's in some ways it's a rebirth because it's like St. Paul says this, right? When we come back to Christ, I don't know the exact words, but when we come back to Christ, we're born anew almost, and our old self is gone, and we're made a new creation within Christ.
Yeah, like that's actually really nice. Like my coming back to Christ. Yeah, coming back to Christ. Like obviously learning more about like our sacraments and like especially I went after like, so a friend of mine, going a bit off topic, but a friend of mine suggested that I should play piano with them for Holy Hour Adoration at St. Pat's. I didn't know what adoration was, and then like searched it up. I was like, oh, it's the I said it's the gold thing with the. It's like that's that thing, and I was like, yeah, that's adoration. I'm like, sweet, where is it? It's just like it's at St. Pat's Cathedral. I'm like, where's that? Like I hadn't I didn't know anything.
Completely naive,
but so like she said like go like this like I think she called me like on Monday or Tuesday. She said Thursday 6:30, just go suss it out. So I'm like, okay. So I went and sussed it out, and it was really beautiful. Like I didn't know what to say when kneeling. I didn't know what to do. I was like reciting like the rosary, but not knowing. I was just saying it, like not actually understanding why, like what you're meant to do, like you're supposed to meditate. But I just remember like like just something shifted in me at that time, like and then my second time going to Holy Hour, I ended up going confession, and like I was searching up on YouTube how to do a confession, like what do I do, and
You had already received the sacraments, right?
yeah.
So how did, in knowing that you already received the sacrament, you've gone through it before, was it, I don't know, because like I haven't been in that situation, but was it a weird feeling for you, or was it just like, you know, because you're like, oh, I should know this?
Yeah, it was like I knew that there was confession. Like the only, like it's weird, but like the only reason I knew about confessions was like the movies, you know, like
Oh yeah.
like you know they don't like forgive me, Father, for I sin. You know, like those.
What
know,
you've done.
Yeah, you know, like those type of like movies, like in pop culture, confession. That's all. That's how I knew, and then I knew about confession. So like. I remember because there was people going in and out. I was sitting down and people like going in and out on the sides. And I remember asking my friend, I was like, what were they doing? They're like, that's confession. I'm like, oh, okay, confession.
I've seen this before.
I've heard that before. So I remember, and then on that Sunday, I was playing Mass here at St. John's, and I asked your uncle, Father Cassius, it's like, for confession, can I just confess my sins to God? Like, do I really have to confess my sins to a priest? And then he explained the meaning of that sacrament, the sacrament of confession. And I was like, no, you have to confess to a priest. And I was like,
Why?
it's like
Oh, why?
Yeah,
What
why?
was this
Like, I
explanation?
forgot about that. Like, yeah, ask that.
I kind of forgot, but I guess like it's like it's a sacrament, but like it's like because yeah, you could confess your sins to God, but it's like it's the act of, because when Jesus said confess your sins to one another.
Mm-hmm. But he says confess your sins to one another, yes, but you can just like
Yeah, like I could tell it to Ben and like.
like
yeah,
calm. So
Go.
yeah, like go in peace, fam. But how does it
Why a
affect
priest?
when it's a priest? Like, what can the priest give you? Like, we understand the priest gives absolution,
Yeah.
but what exactly is that absolution, and how does it affect how does it affect us as Christians, as Catholics? And you know, why is that different to me going up to him or going up to you, going to anyone else, and just, you know, telling my sins to them?
Damn, I really.
you have phone a friend there if you want.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah.
Hello? Answer the phone. I forgot the answer. Hello? Hello?
You can answer.
He hanged up on me.
Or from what you understand.
It has to do something with it's like
I do have an answer for this, but I want to ask you.
The friend has an answer.
Well, there's a couple of things I understand. First of all, when Christ breathed on the disciples, he said, he basically bestowed his power on them. I think that was the institution of the priesthood. I could be wrong. But he says, like, those whose sins you forgive will be forgiven, and those whose sins you will retain will be retained. So when he sends out the disciples, he basically says, like, I have given you power, my power, you know, to go out and to evangelize the world, evangelize all those. So when we go to this priest, we understand that he's acting in person of Christ, right?
Yeah.
Not to say that we can't confess it up to Christ, but the priest has literally been given power by the Lord himself. Hey, you know, when you confess sins, they will truly be forgiven. And that's what the power of absolution is. That's what the prayer of absolution is. So, and I understand that can be difficult for others to understand. And it took me a while from when I returned back to the faith to practice it, to understand. But I think also part of it is the experience between the confessor and the priest, right? There is for me, it's almost unexplainable. When I go into the confessional, I'm afraid sometimes to say it to the priest especially because I go quite to the same priest to like confess, and sometimes I'm repeating the same sins, and you feel like I don't want to say this to the same priest. But one of the beautiful things that one of the priests, this is Father Peter actually, JPII, open from
Advertising.
JPII, it's by the Archdiocese. It's on Grattan Street, just across from Melbourne Uni. Open Monday to Friday from, I believe, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. 12:15 Mass every day, and just before Mass there's 11:45 to 12 o'clock confession.
Back to common man.
But yeah, like I forgot what was I saying. So one of the most beautiful things that Father Peter says is like the most important thing is you've come back to God, and that's what the beauty of the confession is that it's not just I can hide away in my room and say this to God. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but you're taking full accountability in front of the people, your community, the church, that hey, I have sinned, but as a brother, as a son of this church, and as an adoptive son of God, I have come to the Father, or to the priest in the person of Christ, to confess my sins, so that I may receive grace from the Father. And the way that we understand grace in that sense with confession is, grace is like you have a water tank, and you got yourself, and we're thirsty, right? As we drink water, we have to completely replenish ourselves during the day. And same thing is with grace. When we sin, we sometimes abuse that grace. Like, not saying that grace leaves us, or at least I don't fully understand, but that grace is kind of expelled almost. And the priest is like that tube, that whatever is like that cup that we can drink the water from. And when we go there, we quench our thirst. And so that's what I would describe confession like. I don't think I got it 100% to the T, but I think that's the best explanation I can give.
100%, yeah. Because I was like, it has to do something with like
Water.
Water. Yeah.
OCIA is very important.
So you're saying without this friend, you wouldn't be able to come back?
Yeah, because like the sacrament confession, it's like when I first went to confession in since my confirmation when I was like,
bro, it was years.
And like I was, I know it's been a while, and there was this video.
No, not for you, bro.
And I remember I was watching this video. I forgot his name. He's like the most popular priest in America.
Bishop
Galileo.
Yes.
No, that's
Australia. That's the singing priest.
There's Bishop Robert Barron and there's Father Mike Schmitz.
I think it was Mike Schmidt. I watched his one, and he's like, I remember he said like explaining, and he said it's just probably best to write down your sins. And then he said to go through the commandments and then like the act of
Contrition.
go through that. Have you done this?
It's like an examination of conscience.
Examination of conscience. That's what I had. I remember I was doing it at work because on a Thursday, because I was like, that Thursday I'm gonna go confession.
Yeah.
So I was doing it during break, ticking, yes, done this. Like literally, I filled like a whole page of just what I'd done. And when I finished writing everything, I was like, there's no way I'm going to confess. I can't get confession that night. I can't get confession. Because it was more like I was ashamed to like actually say them out loud, especially to I know like you're confessing your sins to to a priest.
Is it possible to just give the paper to the priest?
I don't think so. I think it depends on your circumstance. Maybe if you can't speak.
If you can't speak, yeah.
But
what if you like just like you
That's why there was tissues. I was like, why is there tissues? And then I knew why there was tissues. Yeah.
No jokes, right?
I guess no, it's all right.
I know.
Oh, you.
No.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
He saw it. He's like, yeah, nah.
No, not like that. I was like, why is there tissues?
There's no cream.
It's a good dead guys. No, like let's say, for example, you're in Wayne's position, right? And you just can't say it, like, because you're that ashamed of it, and like, but you want to confess. Can you just slide the paper, be like, Father, I have sinned. Like,
I mean, if you're able to say, Father, I have sinned, I think
Yeah,
you could
but-
go a couple more.
bro, whole page you'll die. You'll die by choking. Like,
Bro, there's no way you'll die by choking.
yeah, bro, like the outside everyone cry, bro. They're like, what's happening inside?
Right, if you're crying, you're crying. It's not, in a way, it's showing the priest, or what the priest is hearing is, this is sincere, right? He could cry himself a river in there, but hey, at least it's sincere. But actually, speaking of which, after now going back to confession, now this is your first confession in several years. How was that experience?
It was literally like confessing my sins from when I was young, like from after I remember, like I had to go back and
Jerry.
and like remember, okay, yeah, I did this. It was like writing it down. It was like right as I was writing it down, I was kind of having to relive it, and I was like so ashamed, like, yeah, I did this. Like when I pulled up to confession, like when I pulled up to holy hour, I didn't want to go inside. I was like, but then I saw this Reddit post for like people like first time going to confession in a while, and it said like that feeling that you have not wanting to go is the devil's last attempt to try to draw you away.
That's despair, yeah.
So I was like, nah, I gotta do it. Go in confession. I saw the tissues. I was like, well, why is the tissues there? Ended up knowing why, because I had to use the tissues because I couldn't stop crying. I was crying, I remember, and but I remember the thing that I still remember was when I said, like, it's been, I think it was like 15 years or 16 years since my last.
15 years.
14 years since my last confession. He said, "Welcome back, my son."
Oh,
I was
I
like,
thought 3 years was bad when I did it.
I would say damn. Like,
I was like,
No, look here. I think if he was a priest, he'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to hear your confession. Just give me. He would actually say, hand me the notes.
yeah,
just give me a little
I'll
sign.
put it in chat and put it like, what is the best, what's it thing called? Penance for this.
I was reading like stories on like what was the worst penance you got. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get like some.
What penance did you get?
I think I just had to do 10 Hail Marys. But when he,
Years worth of.
but what did he
Decade
say?
of the Rosary.
He said a decade of a rosary. But I thought that, so I did a whole rose, like I did
Damn.
because I didn't know.
He
So
was so extra.
No, he said he didn't know.
Yeah, but still, that doesn't matter, bro. Like, it's good. That's a good
didn't
thing. That's a
know.
good thing. I don't mean it's a bad thing. Maybe the word choice was bad, but like, I mean, like, damn, like,
Yeah.
for you to hear a decade and be like, yeah, I'll do the whole rosary.
yeah, I thought it was like that's what I thought it meant. I was like, if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. And I did it. I remember I was doing it. Even when Holy Hour was finishing up, I was still finishing up.
How do you feel after that?
After that, I felt like literally like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulder. I remember that day we went out for dinner with some of the guys from like after they do like after,
Yeah.
and I was just having conversations. I was like, it felt really good, like like knowing that like this is like kind of like is a new step, like I'm taking this more serious, like I don't want to go back to my old ways. I kept saying I don't want to go back to my old ways, and it felt really good. And like I was good for like 4 months, 5 months, but then fall back into old habit. But I remember like when I fell back into my old ways before, I'll be like, I would have no conscience, like okay, yeah.
Yeah, you would numb yourself so much to the pain that
I
you were
was
like,
numb. Like I just, it is what it is.
What got you back into the sin though?
I think it was just temptation. It's just temptation. Like it was just temptation, and like it was more like
did you know what triggered
Yeah, that's
that
there are trigger
temptation?
points,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you can like now would you be able to like avoid the trigger points?
yeah, I can avoid it. I know what like when I'm weak, when I feel like it, I can. But like during that, I wasn't, because I was like, 4 months, 5 months, I'm not trying to. But then I was like, temptation, and then it lingered, and I gave into sin. But I remember when I gave into sin, the guilt that I felt so bad. I started like, I remember crying. I was like, what is this? Because back then I was like,
But that's actually a beautiful thing in a way, because
before this you didn't have the guilt or anything.
No,
You just
before-
kept going for it.
I remember like,
I know people say though, like maybe the wrong thing is to say guilt. I could be wrong, because people say like, oh, guilt is it's not guilt that we feel when we, when we say
Sin.
betray God or we sin, and we know like, yeah, that's harmful towards my relationship with the Lord. It's not guilt. I think it's my Uncle Ferdy who says this. He says that guilt is like almost like an evil emotion, right? Because we feel like we start despising ourselves with that because of guilt. It's not guilt, it's remorse. Right? Because remorse is like you feel bad because you hurt another person and you feel sorry. And because of that sorry, we want to go to confession and tell the Lord, hey, I have sinned again. I know it's bad, but because you are so good, help me not to sin again. Right? I think that's how the act of contrition itself goes. So it's not guilt that we feel, it's remorse. But sometimes when we do feel, people say like, if you do feel guilt, in other words, it's also conviction. And like, oh, actually, I'm actually at least going down the right way. Because, like you said before, you would have been like, yeah, it is what it is. But now it's like, damn, like, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Now I gotta go confession. So you're actually, it is progress. Even if you don't look at it as progress at the time, it is progress.
100%. And I feel like going back to if there was a pandemic, like right now, is like, because after these 5 months, like going to mass, participating in St. Michael's Lent with some group, joining different young adults group, leading a youth group to ACYF this year. Like, I feel like if the pandemic hit now, I feel like what you said, what did you say, like knowledge with love?
Love with knowledge.
Love with knowledge.
Because it's always going to be love first and then knowledge. Because like I said, Satan knows the Bible. He knows, he knew God because he was the first created being by God. Right? So I think he was the first created being by God. Anyway, like he was the first angel, definitely, right? He was the most beautiful angel. He knew God because he didn't want just to be like God, he wanted to be more powerful than God. So if you're saying like, yeah, all I need is knowledge or more knowledge, like Satan's already got you in that department. But love of the Father, to obey him, to be obedient. Obedience is one of my worst qualities, I would say sometimes. But to be obedient, that's something that Satan will never be able to outdo you in. So that's the first step, right? I think Father Rob, in his song, I forgot which song it is, but it's from his earlier albums, he says, to know you is to love you, and to love you is to serve you.
100%.
I repeat that mantra quite a bit.
So wait, let's say that you have a friend. I mean, there's a person right now out there who's facing the same thing you did in the pandemic.
Yeah.
What would you advise him to do?
Or her.
Him or her.
Him or her.
Damn.
Like, if I was to tell him, like, it's hard because like I'll just like be real with them and be like, if you're going through if you're going through what I'm going through, and
But how would you know they're going through something? Because they are in the room, like we are in our houses, right?
Yeah, it's like,
so like unless you reach out,
unless they reach out to me, and that's again, like if they don't reach out, I won't know. And like what Paul said is like, can't really judge them until for example,
I think it's not you can't really judge them, you shouldn't judge them.
You should. You can't really, no, you don't judge them. It's like until they open up to me, like if I know that if they open up to me and tell me what they're going through, then I'll give them I'll just share my story with them.
What if they're introverted and they can't? Like they're going through something, but like how will you know that they're going through something?
You just have to be patient.
You can't really force them.
If someone doesn't want to be helped, then you can't really help them.
Yeah.
But what if they're shy to be like they're shy to reach out or like?
I mean, then you just have to ask the question every time you see the person.
You're good.
And also, like, if you know the person, right? For example, if you know the person, you're gonna kind of notice the shift in their behavior, and sometimes you have to just ask the question, like, "Hey, are you alright?" Because I think everyone at the end of the day just want someone to hear them out at the most part, and you don't, especially with introverts. Speaking from failing in this aspect, it's not about you giving them advice. It's about you just being there to listen, right? Because they just for them to speak about vulnerable things is something that they struggle with already, right? To emotionally open up. And so for them to even like speak about those things will be difficult. So you don't have to rush them. You just say, hey, I'm here. If you want to talk, I'm down to talk, I'll be on the line. But if you just want to hang out, you want to chill, I'm happy with that as well. It's just, what's the word? No, there's a word. It's about learning to delegate those approaches.
Yeah. Especially like at work, like, when I see someone that's clearly struggling or experiencing homelessness, I always ask them like, hey, you want coffee? Some will obviously say yes. Yeah, coffee.
There's ice cream and stuff.
Well,
Coffee's good, bro.
Coffee's good.
That's why they don't reach out to you.
That's why they keep saying no, because they want something else.
Yeah.
I can't say, do you want a beer? Because
You don't have to say beer. You could say ice cream or something. Could ask boba or something.
yeah. But like when I reach out to them, like offer them something, some will say yes, and then when I do, then they open up, and then I'll be talking with these guys. I remember I'll be talking with them inside the shopping center, just hearing their story, But then there'll be some people that I ask them, and they're like, no, I'm okay, and then okay, and then when I see them again, ask them again, they still the same answer, and then maybe
the gun on top of their head.
yeah, sometimes it has to be like that. But then I would ask them maybe one more time, and then they finally give in, and then that's when they start, then I ask them like how you been, I don't ask them small questions, sometimes these guys are small talk, because most of these guys that I deal with, bro, they're ignored by society, especially they're out on the street, they're ignored, so just having a talk to, just saying hello, or treating that, talking to them not as you okay, just talking to them a normal person. Sometimes when I go to shake their hand, their hands are dirty, and they go for a fist bump. I'm not shaking your hand, and I don't care. Their hand might be dirty, it might be
That's what Christ did,
yeah,
right, with the leper, for example. Yeah. No one would go to the lepers. They would say that's unclean, And
Jesus goes and dabs them up.
Literally, he goes and hugs them. He goes and kisses them on the forehead, right? Because those people, like you said, they've been rejected by society, by their families, by everyone that they trust, and they come to live this low life existence. And so when someone especially God, the person who's I'm the Messiah, is coming through, the King of Israel, I'm sure most of them were either A, they were they already lost hope, so I don't care about this dude, or B, they were I'm unworthy, right, of because even John said I'm unworthy of untying Christ's sandals, which was one of the worst and most degrading jobs of his time.
Wow.
So the lepers would have been seen underneath that, worse than the dust on people's feet. So for Christ to go to them and say I love you, you're my child, right? Because most of the time when Christ goes to most people, he says my son, my daughter, my child, right? Or my friend. And for someone who's been completely dejected by the world around them, to hear that would have filled their hearts with so much hope. And for you, right, you're saying you physically can see that their roughed up exterior, their dirty, I guess, messy appearance, and they're out of their how people view them, right, the social view. They're I'll just fist bump this guy. For you to actually open up your hand and shake the hand, for them is being hugged by everyone that they've missed. Because and in that moment, I'm sure even if they don't say it, right, especially if it's a guy, because guys we don't talk about that stuff as much as we do even in our normal states. That's enough to break through that tough exterior that they've built up. And yeah, it'll take time, right? You probably, because I imagine, especially where you work, you see the similar people quite often. And when you don't see them, you're hey, I haven't seen you in a while, fam. And so they're just happy just to have you listen to them.
100%.
Right? And I feel I don't know what God has called you to do in your service of Him, but I think right now you're doing the best that you can, and the best that you can is enough for those people, right? It's no more than enough,
Yeah.
right? For them, they might see you as family, right? They might actually see you as a brother.
Because like 100%, yeah. Because before my coming back to Christ, right, I'll treat these guys like literally like not like, you know, they'll come, I'll treat them with trash. Like I'll judge them on the appearance. Like they'll come in to Woolworths or they'll come in one of the shopping centers and they'll call me and it's like, yeah, we got a regular, and then I'll come in, I'll see them and be like, get out. Like they haven't done anything, but that's how I used to see them. I used to see them as like, you know, like I used to call them all sorts of names, like, you know, junkies and, you know, druggies, and then obviously they would react that way because I'm treating them like that. So they would react back, and then I'll be like, it was like
Fire with fire.
Yeah, fire with fire. And then like, and I had no remorse about it. Like it was like, yeah. And then people would laugh about it and like, oh, another day in the city. I'm like, yep. But then coming back to it and realizing like, man, I treated some of these guys like absolute rubbish. Like,
in a way, it's like, I'm sure like you haven't gone through the exact same circumstances, but I think once your faith was reignited and you tried to develop now that relationship with Christ, I think Christ in a way, in a weird way, now I'm not choosing to know what God is saying, but from my perspective, from my understanding, this is what I'm saying. I think Christ in a way is showing you how the world treats them, like how you see them now and before then. So he shows you how the world saw them, and now when you turn back to them, he's showing you how he sees you, or how he saw you when you came back. Right? He's like, he looks at you because, well, we may not admit it or something, and you don't have to speak about it, but he probably looked at you as like, this person has been rejected by the world so much that now he rejects himself in knowing that he's my child, and I love him, and I want him to come home, and I want to feed him, but you know, he's become so dejected. So now, but when you come back to him, he sees you in your filthy rags. He sees you maybe diseased or anything, and nonetheless he comes down to you where you're probably on your knees, you're like in the dirt, right? He comes down to you and he lifts you up and he dusts you off and he says, welcome home, my child, like the prodigal son. And I think now the way that you view those people is the same way that Christ is showing you his vision of how he sees people and how he saw you.
Yeah, that's deep. That's actually so deep. And yeah, damn, that's deep.
Where's the tissue, bro?
Oh my days. That's actually, yeah, I was just like thinking about it. It's like, yeah, man, if that's how, you know, damn.
I mean, look, it's not like we've just had conversations in here, but it's like we've had these conversations outside, and just gathering from what you tell me about a lot of the things that you go through now and then what you did go back through then, I think it's just like you piece the puzzle together. And again, I'm still human. I only see like a pixel of what God sees. So I'm telling you a pixel of what God actually sees. There's something else he sees that I will never be able to comprehend, and I'll never be able to tell you. At least maybe not in this lifetime, maybe in the next, as in the afterlife. Not in a second life. But it is like when you tell me these things and I hear the same things from others in their stories, even from Wilroy's stories, even at times, and Fua and Jacob, they're in the room. It's like when you understand the person's heart at their lowest moment, and then to where you are now and where you were before, everything starts piecing together like that, and it's extraordinary to see how God works in the background of things, how he would, like, you know, how you probably looking at yourself now, if you were to go back and tell yourself like, hey, like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, you're like, hey, I'm going to church now, I love God and try my best to serve the church, bro, your older self would look at you and laugh, or probably even slap you, bro. He'd be like, "What's wrong with you, bro? You become hypnotized into this like cult, right?" Maybe you don't say. I definitely was at that point at one point. And then even as much as you would try to convince yourself, you could never bring yourself back to Christ, because you did try.
Yeah, I did try.
You did try and you failed.
Yeah.
And God's like, all right, but God would have saw that try, right? He would have seen, okay, he's attempted. All right, cool. I need something. I need something little. And he would have taken one of your misconceptions or something. I'm not going to say what.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going to bait him in.
And I think that's what happened. And it's crazy because now that misconception is like, it's gone, but I'm still here.
100%.
I'm still here. So like, yeah, that stuck with me. What you told me is like, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this little.
Yeah,
thing.
I'm gonna
feed this guy. I'm gonna bring this guy back, and
You
it's.
fell for that worm.
I fell for the worm. I took the bait, and I'm still here. So.
But that is a beautiful thing. Like, he turns our mistakes.
You're still swimming.
I'm still swimming.
Praise God, bro.
He
Praise
threw you
God.
back in the pond. Now he's like, okay, you go catch up this one, bro. He took the fish, made it into a man.
But.
But actually, now, so you have gone through now, like you said, 6. How many months has it been? So just remind me again.
May, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, 7 months. 6-7 months. And it's like during that 7 months, man, like so much has happened. Like I've done so much more, especially in my family.
So to touch on it, you said True North was a great help. From, if you could summarize it almost from start to end, what in True North has helped you so much? Who has helped you, or and how do you plan to take what they've given you and to now incorporate it in your own life in spreading God's love and His message, but also how do you, I guess, because you also got a youth group now in your parish and you're leading that, how do you plan to take what you've learned from them and incorporate it there?
Bro, like True North, like True North has literally like, I remember, so I said to myself, my friend, I was like, I want to get Bible study. Oh no, I didn't want to get Bible study. My sisters wanted to get Bible study, and she sent me this flyer. It was a True North Bible study. I'm like, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna go, because my sisters weren't gonna go, so I'm like, I'll go because I feel bad because if no one rocks up, I'm like, if I go here and the vibe's off and I don't really vibe with these guys.
Look, yeah.
If I don't really vibe with these guys, I'm not gonna stay, right? Went my first Bible, went there, met a few of the guys there, a few of the leaders. Bro, these guys were like, they were so welcoming. Everything that they like, I felt welcome straight away. I felt welcome straight away. Like, they were asking how I was, like where I'm from, like my faith journey, and also like even after Bible study, we all had a laugh and like everyone was so, we all vibe. Like what I learned from those guys is that, they helped me grow in my faith through fellowship. Like just being surrounded with people who fear Christ.
Yeah, go on, bro. Those are distractions of the
And
world.
the distractions, they're distractions. Just cut this out.
That's in the thing.
Literally, like True North helped me see fellowship as like surrounding yourself with people who are Christ, like who love Christ. Because before I was surrounding myself with people who would drag me down, like through doing stuff and like going out.
Change your crowd.
Yeah, and like now hanging around with people who are lifting me up in my faith and also closer to God, helped me see that and like the beauty of fellowship. And then I was like going back to like my old youth group back in 2019, like all that stuff we did. And then also a few of the members there also helped me like reignite my inspiration for music.
For context.
At the end of the podcast, we'll put this video.
My
So they know
days.
what we were looking at.
This guy did his back. Yeah, good.
The God.
Yeah, like through fellowship, through my like reigniting my love for music again, like playing for like the concerts and all that. Also like just like being a part of a group that support each other through faith, through other gifts from God like music. It's really helped me. What was the other question? So I was just
I'm just.
What are you taking it from through not to your group?
So what I want to be taking from
Also into your own life, of course.
like 100% is like, I feel like I see it with my group as for like fellowship, like seeing them bond, and like even though like the group chat goes crazy and like they're just sending each other memes.
Still laughing from that. No, it's all good. It's all good. No, nothing against you. Just still laughing about that.
You want to show your moves here, bro?
Yeah, what I'll take from True North to my group is like, yeah, the importance of fellowship, formation, activities. Yeah.
Wait, what's your group? What's your group's name?
It was called Our Ladies Parish Youth Group, but now it's called G.I.F.T Youth Group, which is an acronym for Growing in Faith Together.
Why didn't you promote the group?
Yeah, promote
the group.
Shout out to G.I.F.T. I'm so sorry. Shout out to G.I.F.T Youth Group, Growing in Faith Together. Our Ladies Parish, Craigieburn. Yeah.
When? What time? Like, what if we? Because
We're still forming it.
In the
it's-
works.
it's
We're
startups.
hoping what we did in 2019.
So
is
it's a
gonna
startup
happen.
again.
We're starting up again, and we're hoping
The
after
return.
the return.
Ah.
And if there's another pandemic, then we're screwed.
Turn out the Mac. You ACYF was a big thing for you back in 2019. ACYF 2025 is coming up in a couple days. Honestly,
This Sunday.
how now that you're going to be a leader this time instead of actually going, and it's in our home local Melbourne. How are you gonna? What are you hoping to get out of this that you maybe that you didn't get before, and how are you planning to, I guess, lead your group? Because now, last time I assume that you're going to take inspiration from Sister Rochelle, how she led you, but what are you going to do? Like, what's uniquely about you that you're going to do?
Yeah, so like going as a leader, it's going to be way different. Like, I've got more responsibilities. Obviously, because they listed me as a first aid administrator and also like security. Because
I mean, you're Samoan, bro.
so like this time going as a leader, what I hope like it'll be good to go as like if I could go as a pilgrim this time, like, but it's good to go as a leader.
I mean,
And-
you get to kind of do both.
Yeah.
Of course, you do have that extra responsibilities,
Extra responsibility, yeah.
but I think that will, in some ways, that will add to the experience. I
It
assume,
definitely
because,
will.
Being a pilgrim, you're free to kind of do whatever you want. But being a leader, you get to speak to the pilgrims almost. Like one thing I'm going to do, at least I'm planning to do for the group that we're going with, is that Harbour Youth, St. Peter's Parish, Epping.
Ex-Preca.
We are not promoting that now. It's coming to an end at the end of the this coming week on Saturday. So we'll see you next year. No, but with ACYF this year, something similar to our World Youth Day group that our group leader did is that at the end of the ACYF, but maybe at the end of each day, we're going to gather together and we're going to, of course, say communal prayer, but also just kind of go about what we did during the day and listen to each and every one of them. I think as a leader, it's very important to understand the people that we're shepherding, understanding where they're coming from, who they are, and as well as what inspires them. Because, a different exhibition, different talks are going to speak differently to others, right? The subject, the content might be the same, but the way that people hear it, it's gonna hit a different point. And so if we are able to understand that, then that way we're also able to expand on that group better, right? Because now when we know, okay, this person might need help here, or this person may benefit from hearing this, so that they can either deepen their faith, or they can, the Lord speaks about the parable of talents, right? I know it's not your favorite parable, but to kind of focus on it, he gives each person a set of talents, and he says like, go and return this back to me with like, and multiply it.
He
right?
never said that. He never said multiply.
No, but when he gets it back, he sees, okay, the servants, the first 7 got 5, he gives them 5 more. The second 7 got 2, he gives them 2 more. And the last servant, he buries it, he takes it out, and he just gives them the 1, because he's like, hey, I know that you're a difficult man, so I'm going to, I didn't want to upset you, so I'm just going to give you this 1 back. And he's like, that was difficult, and yet you didn't even go put it in the bank and collect interest on it. You just let it rot, right? Or rot away in silence. And so, the Lord, he gives us these things, he's merciful, he's gracious, but he doesn't give us these things to, hide them away. He gives us so we can shine to the world and get others to then unlock their own maybe hidden talents, or maybe things that they're not too courageous to share. And so I think through that, that sharing and understanding of the people in our groups, we can understand like, hey, maybe this is what this person is good at, and maybe that's how they could reach more people, not just in our parish, but just around the world generally. So I think that's very important. So that's why I'm asking, you're in True North, and you're going to go out from True North, and you're going to go lead your own group. What is something that you're taking from True North? What is something that is also uniquely special, that maybe just to you personally, that you want to incorporate in that group?
Yeah, definitely formation that I learned from, like, seeing formation in action and fellowship, in True North, like seeing how everyone is together, like growing as well, like everyone, like we all have different personalities, like and we all crack jokes, and we all have fun, but the whole thing we have in common is that we all serve Christ, and we all that everyone there has the same love for Christ. And I feel like I want to take that, but the thing is, when I was going, before Sister Sal said like, I want you to lead this year's ACIF group, I was a bit concerned, like if I went and it was like everyone was like how I was going, like everyone, I could see that these guys are not, they're just using this as to go on like a trip, or like they're not going for the right reasons, but like,
that's a beautiful joke that God's playing on you. Yeah. God has a great sense of humor. He's like, hey, you remember what you did? Yeah. Take 10 more.
I thought that, I was like, oh my gosh, imagine if I had to deal with like people, like 10, like we're going with 25 people. Imagine I have to deal with 25 young teenagers, young adults, and they're all like me. But like, luckily they're all like, their faith is strong. And like, I could see when we had our little adventure in Scoresby last Saturday, like how he said, like some people, they all listen to the same message, but they all hear something different. And we had this little exercise where Sister Rochelle brought out different photos, and they all picked one, and they explained it in their own words what that means for them. And like, it's crazy seeing each person explain what they see, because like I saw something different, but they see something different. And like, it's crazy to hear, like, they're all young, they're all my age back then, maybe some were younger, but seeing their faith so strong. So like, going into this year's ACYF is like, obviously I'm going as a leader, so I'm going to have more responsibility. I'm going to be kind of more focused on them, but seeing them like actually take this very seriously, it also helps me. Like, it helps grow, like it makes me happy, if that makes sense. Like, seeing them grow in their faith, seeing them take it seriously. Like, maybe that's what Sister Rochelle, like, I'm using, like, I'm seeing, 100%. Yeah, I'm like, maybe that's what Sister Rochelle wanted to see in me during that time. Maybe that's why she gave me a second chance. So seeing that, I remember like at Scoresby, I was like listening to everyone say their stories, and like, I was like, wow, man, this everyone is so, like, it's not just one person, it's like all of them are so strong in their faith. And if there is maybe one person that I can see in the group that's maybe not taking it seriously, like how you said, like, what will you say to him? Probably just pull him aside and during the ACYF and like, no, it's a, yeah. And maybe just talk to him. He's like, gee, you good? Like, I want to go home. I don't find this. And then that's when I'll share my story with him. Be like, gee, just take, like, look, maybe God's trying to talk to you at this time. Like, whatever you'll have that's holding back from you, like, from actually, like, because, you know, us Islanders, like, we tend to hold, we don't like to talk about our feelings, our emotions. We like to close things up because we're taught when we're younger, don't cry, be a man.
I mean, that's like, I don't know about you. Is it your same with your household?
What?
Same, like, because with my household, it wasn't said, but it's kind of like almost like an unwritten rule because I would see my own, like, my uncles, my dad, my grandfather. You'd see them laugh. You'd see them, like, you know, be top of the you know roof or whatever, top of the moon, but far out. You would never see them. Even when my grandfather passed, my dad's dad, I did not see my dad cry.
Wow.
I didn't actually see my dad cry. I saw when my grandmother passed. I think. No, I didn't even see my dad cry then. He cried, like he grieved in silence. Like I think he did at one point because he has told me, yeah, he did cry, but he didn't do it in front of or any of us, like our children. He did with mom, like my mom was there to help him, but he because he was also the eldest, he had to just focus on, now I've got to get this all sorted, right? I got to make sure that my family's good and the rest of the family's good, and now that my parents rest in peace, right? So it's like you see that and you're like, and you don't really see him cry. And even when we watch, like, what I would consider sad movies and I would tear up, I look at my dad and my dad just be like, yeah, that's a good movie.
Comedy.
So it's like I'll be like, oh, I guess we're not meant to cry. But then we look in the gospel.
Bro,
Christ
cried, bro. Jesus cried.
Christ,
Jesus wept.
Christ was called a man who was acquainted with much grief and sorrow.
Wow.
Right? And you see in multiple occasions but like, let's specifically the agony of the garden, right? Where that's one of the mysteries of this. I think the first sorrowful mystery. Right?
Yeah.
He is there. He's crying literal, and he's sweating blood because he's like you know, like he's like about to face the most humiliating as well as painful thing back in those days, probably even to this day, probably is the most painful thing. And he's there, he's like, Father, I don't want to do this. I beg you, if you can take away this cup away from me. Like, not if you can, could you please take away this cup from me? If it is your will.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing. It's like, if it is your will. But then he took it up afterwards. So when you see that in the gospel, you're seeing, like, in my opinion, the peak of masculinity is Christ, right? It's very different to what social masculinity is now.
Yeah.
But
do you know Jesus was 5'7"?
Oh.
Yeah.
Short king.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
No, fucking me.
He called him short king just right.
Hey, but he said king at least.
You remember what you said?
Oh, no, bro. We ain't bringing that up. We can say it after the podcast. No, I might actually die still. Yeah, but he
was raped.
Yeah, no, he was built, of course, because he was a carpenter, bro. He was, like, walking all the time. But what I'm saying is, like, when you see that, and then but after knowing all your life, like, hey, I've been holding all this in, it breaks a weird part of you, but because you're so wired into that, you can't do it. But then I think I can only cry, surprisingly enough, I can only cry. There's 2 times I've been close to crying at times, but I can only fully cry when it's just me in my prayer hall at home, in my room alone praying. And I will, like, go deep into, like, especially it's always late at night as well. It's like it's the weirdest thing. I think it's with most guys. I could be wrong, but I know with a lot of my mates as well. Like, it's when it's like maybe like 2 a.m, talking to God. We're like, I'm like, I can't sleep, so we'll talk to God, and then we'll just starting tearing up, and then sometimes we'll fully sob. Like, I fully sobbed the other day, and I was so, like, yeah, you know, you break down. I think it's something we need to like in the next coming generation is like you tell them like, hey, it's not a bad thing to be emotional, it's not a bad thing to cry, but it's important to regulate those emotions
instead of
because if
pressing it.
Yeah, exactly. But like we can't cry all the time. You can't complain all the time, right? There are times like if you're playing a sport, for example, right? When I was younger, if I cried about I don't know losing a game, bro, my cousins would have smacked the hell out of me, bro. Right? But like when my grandparents died, if I didn't cry, people have been like, "You're
They'll
insane."
smack you again.
Yeah,
Smack you again, right? So it's like there are times like where like there are times to cry, there's times not to. Similar thing. There's times to have fun. There's times not to. There's times to work. There's times not to. There's seasons for everything. And if we fail to teach. If we fail to teach that to the future generation, then it's like that generational trauma is gonna get passed on.
That's such a big thing in our culture, generational trauma. That's
100%.
happened with me and my brother, with my dad.
Are you going to pass it down?
No, well, like luckily recently, I'll say a couple of years ago, my dad finally realized why he was like this. Why? Because there was a point where like me and my siblings couldn't talk to him. Like we just couldn't, especially my sisters, they couldn't talk to him because of like old school tradition, old school values, obviously trauma that he was holding on from his childhood. And it was, I think it was Suicide Awareness Month for men.
Oh, okay.
And he actually, it was a month, and I think all his brothers and all his cousins were all participating in doing 30 push-ups a day.
Okay.
And he was doing it, and he was actually doing it. And I remember he told us the story about why he's doing this, to honor his uncle who committed suicide, like maybe when he was young, and then since then he actually kind of opened up more, and now we can actually we can talk to him and I feel like that's like the end of that generational trauma, because if he was still to this day how he was before, definitely it would have passed down. So like,
do you blame him for those things, or did you blame him for those things?
For
for because of his lack of emotion, or maybe his staunchness in tradition, right? Did you blame him for that trauma that was passed down to you?
Yeah, like I'm not like.
Do you still?
No, not like we understand why, because I remember like all our cousins were talking about it, how it stems from, because I can't blame him because it was passed down from his dad, because he was telling us stories where, he loves his dad, like he loves my grandpa so much.
Is your grandfather still alive?
Nah, he passed away.
Oh,
that's all right. He passed away a while ago. But I remember telling his story like, when he was young, him and his siblings, but they were saying like they were probably like 4 or 5 years old when they first tasted blood in their mouth because of the hidings he'll get. He said my grandpa, everyone knew him as like his weapon, like he always had a machete. Yeah, so like, and like, so when I used to like be angry at him for the way he is, then I reflect on, if I was him when I was like 5, 6 years old and like I had to like live with that, of course, like I'll be the man how I was today.
So yeah, he experienced that trauma in his childhood. Did he ever hit you?
Oh, of course, yeah. Like,
but was it?
It wasn't
as serious as.
It was like a hiding. Like you mess up at school, you get a hiding.
Yeah, but like, was it like knowing what he had to go through? Like you said, your grandfather at the time used a machete.
I don't think he used machete. Like he.
But he's like,
but it was like their hidings would have been. Yeah, their hidings, the original hidings from them would have been way worse than what we're copying.
Right?
But it was
like a Viking. You'd be like a Viking.
That's 100%. But even as staunch as he was, as much as he loved your grandfather, and as much as he did maybe beat you as well, as like 100%, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as what he went through, right?
It wouldn't have
so
been.
In some way, like even if he didn't realize it, I'm sure that some part of him unconsciously was trying to be like, I don't want my kids to go through the exact same thing I went through.
Yeah.
So if I can do anything, I'll do that. Of course, no one's perfect. Everyone has their flaws. And, we just have to learn to love them through those things. And one of the big things now today is therapy. Like I know, being a person who very much advocated against therapy most, if not all, my life. I think it is important because, especially for men. And now I think there are certain therapies which I don't agree with that completely emasculate men, and so it's important that we actually, like, yes, we listen to the things that we're told, but we don't take everything as gospel, and so we like learn what is necessary, like what we should listen to and what is necessary to help us grow. But then there's certain things that should be also filtered out, right? There's a lot of, I would say, that's feminine things, and that's a lot of like for example, I know a friend of mine who's been going for a while now, and he said that like he's just constantly being what's the word?
Feminized.
Not feminized. It's like they don't admonish him for anything. When you kind of hear like certain things, you're like, maybe you should be admonished for that, right? In the sense, like, they always approve of his things, like, or if like, and I feel like there's sometimes where you shouldn't approve, right? So when he's like, okay, I lied about this because I was afraid of this. He's like, they would say like, that's all right for you, like, you lied, everyone lies, da da da.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that's just because of the world culture and everything. But I mean, even then, if you go, if like in a more, I know it's a very broader example, more, extreme, but you go to a court of law, and I know people lie, don't get me wrong, but you shouldn't lie. It's meant to be a judicial system. And if you teach people, like, it's all right, you lied in that situation, is what it is, you're going to continue that into your rest of your life. It's not going to help you. You might think inside your mind, like, oh yeah, that's perfectly fine, that's just who I am. That's going to like kill the people around you because they're not going to trust you anymore.
No.
Right? So I think there are certain things that are definitely good about therapy which help people work through, especially men. And I do encourage it now. I know I didn't before.
But wouldn't you say just talking with someone else would be better?
Talking with someone else definitely helps,
Like-
but I feel like, no, don't get me wrong.
But like talking to a professional,
That sometimes certain things, because there are people like who don't know they might have something like mentally unstable, or maybe like they have some mental illness that they do need to get checked out for, right? There are people who are pathological liars, and they're like, oh, I can't stop doing this, it's just a part of me, but they just think it's like it's normal to them, so they think it's normal for everyone else, and then they start treating everyone else as if, oh, they're just lying to me all the time, right? So it's the same thing. It's like, there are certain things that only professionals can treat and can administer, so that's important there. And also, yeah, it's important that we have men. I know I say men, but it's because in this day and age, we don't talk about our feelings. Like I think nowadays we do more. At least I do with you guys, but that's just because comfortability as well. But it's like, if Christ was so open enough to cry about his torment and his loss, that means we have every right to as well. It just depends on the time.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess a couple more questions before we wrap up. I know it's getting late into the night. I think it's like 1 o'clock.
Is it 1 o'clock?
Is it 12?
11. Yeah.
Huh?
11.
12, 11.
Also,
Oh, we still have 1 hour.
4. 4. Can you get my photos? Check, I got no missed calls. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, no.
By 11?
Phone dry as always. My parents don't love me. No. My friends are like, this guy's alright.
But basically, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So in going through what you've gone through with your faith journey up to the point you know now, what would you say is the darkest moment you've gone through, and what got you out of it, or who got you out of it?
Since coming, or like my whole life, or like since my coming back.
I would say your whole life. Because I know like you can also be in a secular situation and get out in a more worldly way, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like with this people, and that might actually help people that might not be as religious. A lot to go through.
He's like,
I feel
I didn't expect this part.
I'm like, yeah. I feel like my darkest. It had to do something. It was something to do with like. There was actually a point where. This was, after ACYF. Like, this was 2020, and like again,
COVID.
yeah. So this was like before actually. Like this was like coming back.
It's been like January time then, because I think ACYF was in December, like in
2019. So like 2020.
5 years ago.
No, this was 20. I think it was like
6 years ago now, 2019.
yeah.
Is it 2020?
No, so 2021.
2021.
2021, like during lockdown, like
4 years ago.
there was actually a point in my life where I was actually thinking I was actually going crazy. Like I literally thought there was something wrong with me. Basically, I was doing I was doing drugs, like very much. Like I was.
You could blink twice, bro, if you wanted.
Bleep that out. Basically, yeah, I'm like my family. I was just.
Drugs? Can you not say drugs on YouTube?
You can, right? Just say illegal medicines.
I was smoking weed. I was like, I was smoking weed.
I'll search it up, but I got this first.
I was smoking. There was this one time I smoked too much weed, and ended up getting. I did some research on basically overdosed on marijuana.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and I ended up getting crazy
Hallucinations.
hallucinations.
What do you see?
It was crazy. You know, have you heard that story about the lamp? About the guy that he got concussed, but during that time he was I don't want to spoil it for you.
It's a movie?
No, it's a Reddit post, but it broke the internet.
You just tell us. Yeah.
Okay, so like this guy pretty much said in a Reddit story that he was living like this whole life. He had like a wife and kids. Years went by.
I think I know this.
But there's a crazy, like he kept seeing this lamp and this.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was.
He saw this lamp, right, and it was like moving, and he wasn't. And then turns out that
That's just sad.
he was playing a game. He was football. He got concussed, and then he woke up and he said, my wife and kids. Apparently, like he never had wife and kids. He lived 20 years.
And you only found out you was using that lamp. Yeah.
Yeah, and literally when I was hallucinating, and obviously I was drinking as well. So like it was so bad.
It was a double dose.
It was a double dose. Like I remember, like again going back to when I was doing security back then, I used to treat druggies really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Doing the same thing behind scenes.
it was literally what it was. It was like I remember I thought I was going crazy, and then I was like, this is God's way of telling me like this is what you get for treating people like that. And then I remember I was hallucinating, like I thought I was in hell. Literally, I thought I was in hell. I was like living this life again. Like it was like a game where I would wake up, I'll be like reborn as someone else in poverty.
Isekai.
Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland. It was basically like that. And then I'll live his life, and then I'll die, and then I'll do. It was like literally like I still remember, like I felt like I was years, right? And then I woke up, and since like for like a good 2 years, I had depersonalization.
What does that mean?
Where you feel like the world is fake. Like you feel like
the Matrix.
The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Basically it was like that, and because of COVID and the pandemic, I was literally that was literally my lowest point, where like I was actually like so scared. Like I actually thought that maybe I was still hallucinating and this was all fake, and like
that's interesting to think about though.
it was actually
I want to not do that.
don't do weed, don't do drugs,
Just don't do it in
Don't do
general,
it.
bro.
and yeah,
Don't mix it as well, fam.
don't mix it. If you if you are but like yeah, that was like my lowest point, where like I thought everything was fake, and I was like, what's the point? But by God, like by the grace of God, like I was able to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like literally having panic attacks because I thought nothing was real. Like I literally thought that this is fake.
So how did you get out of it?
I think I just like just like again, I'm an overthinker, and best advice I was told was like just to not think about it.
How do you get out of the weed?
Huh?
How do you get out of smoking weed and all that stuff?
Oh, getting like that literally stopped. Literally stopped. I haven't smoked weed since then.
You mean because of that experience?
Because of that experience.
Oh.
And like,
damn, that's like the reverse. Like,
Yeah,
you had to take it.
doesn't
And
happen.
yeah.
usually it's the opposite. Like they want to do it again because they want to.
It's so difficult for people to go cold turkey, bro.
No, I went cold turkey after that. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm going back into that. But
Yeah, that's a good thing then. At least you know never to do that again.
yeah.
I, on the other hand.
Huh?
Wait, what?
You on the other hand.
Well, before we wrap up, I got one last question. And I guess maybe a final statement, I guess. But
Do you like girls?
You like boys. No.
if you could say you could you saw, you could ask God 3 questions and get a direct answer back, what would those questions be? Oh, you know what? Just one.
Oh no, I like it. I like
Oh,
it.
3? Okay.
Oh yeah.
3, bro. Let it
I was like, I gotta think. Like, first of all, like, first thing I'll ask him is like, what do you want me to do?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Same.
or like, what, like, you always probably
What's
like,
your purpose,
what,
basically?
I
like,
think Ryan said the same thing.
yeah,
I guess.
like, what's
I
your
just remember
purpose for
aliens,
me?
honestly.
Like, because it's confusing. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, you only have 3
Yeah.
vacations, but it's hard to choose which one. Second question is like, how can I like
Get
always
rich quick.
Huh? How can I reach? Can you give me the next week lottery number? No. It's like, how can I? Because how can I save my family? Like, because like I'm going.
Save your family.
Because like I'm going on this journey, right? I'm going back to Christ and seeing like my family, like especially my siblings.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just quick thing on that.
Quick, no, go. I like it.
No, because I know he needs to go to bed. I've had the same thing. Maybe not directly with my immediate family, but with my cousins. Love my cousins to death. I've grown up with them, and we don't always see eye to eye on things, especially nowadays. But I always, and I think I've asked my uncle this. It's like I just want to. I want to see them in heaven. I want to see them in heaven. I want them to come back to Christ, because I know, like, I just want, like, when we grew up going to church all together, we may not have all grew up with the same faith, or in a sense, like, we never grew up with the same level of faith, but we all grew up going to church together. We went sometimes even serving fruit to people and all that.
Beautiful.
I love those memories, right? I also love the dumb stuff we did together, but I could never imagine. As childish as it sounds, I could never imagine my life without them. I know I've taken time away from them, but I could never imagine my life without them. That's how much I love them. And so I really want them to get to heaven. But sometimes we ask the Lord and we ask people around us, hey, I really want to, get my cousin or my family I want to get these people that I love to come back to church, or to come and meet God and to walk with God and to love God and all that, and to be in heaven with it. And a lot of the times we sometimes force our hands in those situations, and we don't get the result that we want, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was my Uncle Cassius who said this, which is that there are times in which we pray, and sometimes the answer to that prayer, that the person to answer that prayer is you. That's the person who God sends.
Wow.
But other times, it's as much as we love our family, a prophet is not welcome in his own home. Town, right? Christ was not accepted in Nazareth, even though he was the Messiah. In the same way, your siblings, your cousins, whoever it is, they have grown up with you. They've seen all the stupid stuff you've done. They've seen all the mistakes you made. So for them, it's like, who are you to tell us what to do, or what, how to live our lives? So, as much as I would love for my example, as prideful as it sounds, to bring them back to the Lord, I can only hope in the promises that Christ has given me that He will send His advocate, the Holy Spirit, but also through someone else that might, get along better with them than I would, like in the sense, like, because we have different experiences, and bring them back to the Lord. I can only hope in that. And as much as it might upset us when we hear that, because we're like, oh, like we want to see it instantly. Even our coming back to Christ wasn't instant,
Exactly
right?
Yeah.
It took, like, your parents were probably like, or your mom or whoever was inspiring your faith, probably wanted you to come back through them. But you came back through your friend. I came back through a woman. But that's what it is, and it happened, and it, for the greater glory of God, we're here now today. So, as much as you could ask God that, maybe I'm not saying that God would say this, because I don't know what God would say, but I feel like God's like, in time, you'll see.
Yeah.
But you just gotta have faith.
Have faith.
And your third
Beautiful.
question.
And my third question is, it wouldn't be a question. It would just be like, if I can get a chance to like directly talk to God, I'll just tell Him, like, I love you so much. I'll just like, I would just.
You'd be a child. You'd just be like, I'm an idiot.
I'm like, I'm so stupid, but you're always there for me, and like that's why, like, going back to that pandemic, like, if that happens again, I can't walk away from you, because there was times where I turned my back to you, even though you were there. Like, I always like this video of this guy walking up the hill, Jesus right behind him, and he's trying to go up the hill, but he gives up and he's tired. And I'm like, no matter how far I'll turn, or if I ever turn, I cannot
leave you.
I can't leave you. I can't, not now. And like, that's why when I do fall into sin, like, the remorse I feel is so bad. So yeah, I'll just tell him how much I love him.
Yeah.
What's the one message you'd give to the world?
No, fair enough. I was going to ask something else, but sure, why not,
Yeah. What's the one message you'd give to, like,
It's all good, bro.
people out there?
No more 6'7". No more. I'm sick and tired of 6'7".
I agree.
8'9". No, I'm joking. Love, Jesus loves you.
100%. True North, every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Second Sunday is Faith Formation.
Faith Formation.
At around 7 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. At St. Monica's Mooney Ponds.
That's the one.
And Faith and fourth Sunday is Mass and Mingle or other social activities with other parishes. Check them out. We'll leave a link in the description. Also Salesian Youth Club, once again.
Same time.
Same exact time, second and fourth Sunday of the month. Second Sunday of the month, there is adoration, however, at 4 p.m., Mass at 5 p.m., social activities at 6 p.m., and then food and discussion at 6:45 or 6:30 p.m., followed by other things, refreshments. Similar thing on the fourth Sunday, just without adoration. Quickly before we end off the podcast, let's say thank you, bro. But yes, please lead us in prayer. That's what I was going to ask. Lead us in prayer, specifically towards those who are sitting on the fence like you were at one point, or those who might be coming back to the faith and they're just afraid to answer the call.
Beautiful. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, first and foremost, just want to thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to sit here and talk about our journey. For those who are sitting on the fence like I was, Lord, I just ask you to shine your light upon them, to show your grace towards them, that they may see that fence belongs to the evil one, that sitting on that fence does nothing good for them. Lord, I pray that once they get off that fence, that they might feel lost, they might feel unsure of what to do, and I pray that you're able to guide them to you, guide them to the light. And for those who are coming back to you but are still unsure or still feel lost, Lord, I pray that again you guide them, and you guide them whether either to a group of people who fear you and love you like like groups around like True North and Salesian Youth Club, that they can help these people grow in their faith like me, and that they can grow in their faith through fellowship, through love, through community. Lord, I pray for all those who are struggling with their faith, you know, like who keep turning their back on you, like how I did, and like how many other our brothers and sisters did. I pray that you shine your light upon them, that you show them your grace. We do this all in your name, all in your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
As
Do you
always,
believe in aliens?
I believe in, yes.
yeah, okay. As always, I'm Ben.
I'm Wilroy. Unleash your flame.
Own your name.
Your flame.